Let's be honest. We live in a world where the loudest voices get the most attention, but attention isn't the same as respect. Somewhere along the way, people started confusing the two. You chase, you over-explain, you keep showing up for people who barely even notice your presence, and all that's doing is teaching them to ignore your value. That ends today. Most people give too much of themselves, not because they're confident, but because they're scared. Scared of being forgotten, scared of not being liked. But here's the truth. People start to notice your worth the moment you remove your energy from where it's not appreciated. When you become scarce, you become sacred. Think about it. When's the last time someone deeply appreciated what they knew would always be there? When you're always replying fast, always emotionally available, always online, you're training people to believe your presence is disposable. But the moment you pull back, the moment you choose peace over pleasing, you shift the dynamic completely, because now you're no longer accessible. You become a mystery. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But you can't do that while performing for the approval of others. You can't grow into your real self while trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, the version of you that the world knows. Often, it's just the version you thought was safest, the one shaped by fear. But the moment you sit with yourself in silence, something changes. You remember who you are without the noise, without the performance. And in that silence, you realize real power doesn't need to be loud. It's not in oversharing or proving anything. It's in knowing. It's in being intentional. It's in becoming selective with your energy and your time. Be harder to reach, and not as a tactic, but as a boundary. When your peace becomes a priority, you stop handing out pieces of yourself like you owe the world an explanation. Let your absence speak. If you've been showing up for people who never meet you halfway, stop. Disappear. Watch what happens, because silence reveals more than any argument ever will. Mystery creates magnetism. If people feel like they already know everything about you, there's nothing left to explore. But when you step back, when you become intentional with your presence, curiosity returns. Where did they go? Why are they quiet? Did I lose them? And in that wondering, they finally begin to value what they took for granted. That's not manipulation, that's self-respect. You stopped giving energy to places that drained you. You started choosing yourself in a way that doesn't need permission. You don't owe everyone access. You don't owe explanations for your silence. Keep parts of yourself sacred. Share only with those who have earned it. The people who deserve your vulnerability are the ones who've proven they can handle it. With care, with patience, with consistency. Nietzsche once said, invisible threads are the strongest ties. The deepest impact isn't made by being everywhere. It's made by being intentional. The people who truly value you, they'll feel your silence. They'll feel the shift in your energy. That's when you know your presence mattered. So what do you do now? You stop performing. You stop chasing people's approval. You stop explaining your boundaries. You start observing. Start being quiet and intentional. Let the silence reveal what words never could. If someone disappears when you stop giving endlessly, they were never really present to begin with. If someone gets uncomfortable with your boundaries, they were only there for the version of you that didn't have any. You owe it to yourself to stop shrinking in order to be digestible. You are not here to be available to everyone. You're not here to be tolerated. You're here to be experienced fully, deeply, and by the right people. So protect your energy. Respond slower. Say less. Watch who respects your distance. Watch who steps closer when the noise fades. Because when you become a mystery, you're no longer a convenience. You're a presence that must be earned. And that's when the shift happens. That's when the respect begins. Let them wonder. Let them miss you. Let them realize, your absence was always louder than your presence ever was.